All right, so we have 24 grams of sulfur, and we want to find grams of oxygen. So we're going to start with the 24 grams of sulfur. So we have 24 grams of sulfur. We want to figure out how many grams of O2 we're going to make. The first step, as always, is we have to have grams of sulfur, and that's S8 in this reaction right here. We need to get grams of sulfur into moles of sulfur. So we're going to do grams of S8 here, moles of S8. And the reason why it's 8 is because it's 8 up here. Sulfur does sometimes form a bond with itself with 8 sulfurs. It's one of the only elements that does that. They get these huge sulfur balls, you could say. Okay, so sulfur's molar mass is 32.06, and we need 8 of them to find the molar mass. So that's going to be 256.48. And that's 1 mole of sulfur, S8. Okay, so that grams of sulfur cancel. Then we need to do our mole ratio. So if we have mole of sulfur up here, we need mole of sulfur down there. We need mole of O2 here. And we're going to look here. We have 1 mole of S8 because there's nothing in front of it, so it's implied that there's a 1 there. And we need 12 moles of O2 there. So their moles of S8 cancel. And our last step is to get moles into grams. So we have moles of O2 into grams of O2. And you have to be careful. Oxygen is 16, but there's 2 of them because it's O2. So that's going to be 32 grams and 1 mole of O2. So we're going to take 24, divide by 256.48, times by 12, times by 32. And that's going to get us 35.933. Grams of O2. All right, so let's look at this next one. We have 15.6 grams of oxygen, and it says excess sulfur. Do we care about the excess sulfur? Nope. Cross it out. How many grams of sulfur trioxide? So we have 15.6 grams of oxygen. We want to know how many grams of this we're going to produce. So we're going to start with 15.6 grams of O2. Our first step is we have to get grams of O2 into moles of O2. So grams of O2 into moles of O2. 1 mole of O2 is 32 grams of O2. So cross that out. We have mole of O2 up here. We need mole of O2 on the bottom. We're trying to get it into sulfur trioxide. So mole of SO3 on top. We have 12 moles of O2. We have 8 moles of SO3. Moles of O2 cancel. We have 8 moles. We have moles of SO3 here. So we need moles of SO3 down there. We need grams of SO3 there. So 32.06 is sulfur. Plus 16 plus 16 plus 16 would be 80.06. And that goes there. Moles of SO3 cancel. So we're going to take 15.6, divide by 32, times by 8, divide by 12, times by 80.06. And we're going to get 26.0, actually 0.020, because that 5 would round the 19 up to 20. and that's grams SO3.